Hi, sis. Welcome back to Her Feminine Guide. Today, I want to have a conversation with you. The kind you'd have with a close friend over coffee. Not a sermon, not a call-out. I want to talk about the small habits that quietly keep us stuck. Maybe you felt it before. The quiet knowing telling you that you were made for more than how you keep living. That knowing isn't your imagination. It's God stirring something in you that these habits have been keeping asleep. So hear me clearly before we start. This is not about shame. This is a mirror held up in love so we can walk into freedom together. Get comfortable, keep your heart open, and let's talk about 5 habits that might be keeping you small and what it looks like to finally put them down.
Habit 1. Too much time on social media. Let's start with the one you probably already saw coming. I'm not here to tell you to delete every app and disappear. That's not the assignment. But I do want you to be honest with yourself about what those apps are doing to your heart. How many mornings have you opened your eyes and reached for your phone before you've even said good morning to God? How much of your day quietly disappears into a scroll you don't even remember starting? Here's the real danger. It's not just the time. It's what scrolling plants in your spirit. Every scroll is a chance to compare your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel. Her body, her business, her home, her life. And slowly, without even noticing, you start to feel like you're behind, like you're not enough. And sometimes it's not even comparison, it's numbing. You're avoiding a feeling, a decision, a conversation with God you don't want to have yet, so you disappear into your feed instead of dealing with what's really going on in your heart. Galatians reminds us to test our own work and let our sense of worth come from God, not from measuring our life against somebody else's. Comparison will keep you small every single time, because you cannot build the life God has for you while you're busy watching somebody else build theirs.
Habit 2. Procrastination. The second habit is procrastination, and I want you to really hear this. Procrastination is rarely laziness. Most of the time, it's fear wearing a very convincing disguise. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready, waiting for everything to line up perfectly before you move. You keep telling yourself next month, next year, when things settle down. And next month turns into next year, and the dream stays exactly where you left it. But Ecclesiastes warns us that whoever keeps watching the wind will never plant, and whoever keeps watching the clouds will never harvest anything. Friend, the perfect moment is a myth. God is not asking you to be ready, He's asking you to be willing. That business idea, that degree, that boundary you need to set, that apology you need to make, that dream sitting quietly in your journal, every day you delay it, you are choosing to stay small on purpose. Not because you're a bad person, because waiting feels safer than trying. So here's your gentle push. Pick one thing you've been putting off and take just one small, honest step toward it this week. Small obedience today is what builds the courage for bigger obedience tomorrow.
The third habit is the way you talk to yourself. Think about the words you use in your own head, the ones nobody else ever hears. Would you say those same words out loud to your best friend? Would you call her ugly, stupid, a failure? Too much, not enough? Probably not. So why do we hand ourselves those words so easily? And here's what nobody tells you. Those words don't stay in your head. They shape how you show up, how you receive a compliment, how you handle rejection, how you let people treat you. Proverbs 18, verse 21 tells us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And that includes the words you whisper about yourself when nobody's listening. Every time you speak defeat over your own life, you're agreeing with a story God never wrote about you. He calls you chosen. He calls you his workmanship. He calls you deeply loved. Your job is to start calling yourself what he calls you, even before you fully feel it. Because the woman who speaks life over herself starts to walk differently, and that one shift changes everything else. The fourth habit is shrinking yourself to feel safe, staying quiet when you actually have something to say, turning down the opportunity because you're scared of being seen, judged, or wrong, holding your gifts back because somebody once made you feel like you were too much. Maybe it's the promotion you didn't apply for, the ministry you didn't step into, the friendship you didn't pursue because you assumed you'd be too much for them too. Sis, God did not design you to take up less space. Timothy reminds us that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That fear you feel when you think about stepping out, that isn't from him.
And the fifth habit, the foundation of all the others, is neglecting your time with God. We give our mornings to our phones, our evenings to a screen, our energy to everybody else's needs, and somehow our time with God becomes whatever's left over, if anything is left over at all. Not because you don't love him, because life is loud, and stillness takes an intention that busyness never asks of you. Psalms tell us to be still and know that he is God. Here's the truth, friend. Every habit we just walked through gets easier to release the closer you walk with him. This is the habit that fixes the other four, because it was never really about discipline, it's about relationship. Comparison fades when you're secure in how he already sees you. Procrastination loosens its grip when you start moving in faith instead of fear. Your words about yourself start lining up with God's words about you. And courage replaces shrinking, because you know exactly who is walking with you. Seek him first and watch everything else fall into place. So here's your challenge this week. Pick just one of these 5 habits and take one real step away from it. Maybe it's a 30-minute break from your phone in the morning before anything else gets your attention. Maybe it's finally starting the thing you've been putting off. Maybe it's simply catching yourself mid-sentence and choosing a kinder word about who you are. You don't have to fix everything today. You only have to start. Total transformation was never meant to be a one-time decision. It's a daily walk with a God who is patient, gentle, and completely for you. I want you to hear this. God is not asking you to be ready. He's asking you to be willing. That business idea, that degree, that boundary you need to set, that apology you need to make, that dream sitting quietly in your journal, every day you delay it, you are choosing to stay small on purpose. Not because you're a bad person, because waiting feels safer than trying. So here's your gentle push. Pick one thing you've been putting off and take just one small, honest step toward it this week. Small obedience today is what builds the courage for bigger obedience tomorrow.
I want you to hear this clearly. Every single time you're here with me, this is not about shame, and it never will be. This is about becoming who you already are in him. So walk in it. Walk in your worth. Walk in your peace with God. And watch how big your life becomes the moment you stop making yourself small. If this spoke to you today, share it with a friend who needs to hear it too. And tell me in the comments which habit you're releasing this week. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay rooted, stay covered, and stay full of grace.